From Monrovia to Damascus, how post war Liberia can inspire Syria's path to peace. As Syria struggles to emerge from the wreckage of more than a decade of devastating civil war, one but instructive case offers both inspiration and warning. Liberia, once ravaged by two brutal internal conflicts, the West African nation today stands as a fragile yet functioning democracy. Proof that reconciliation and reconstruction, however daunting, are not impossible. Syria, with its far more complex geopolitics and greater material devastation, faces a steeper climb, but Liberia's experience offers a roadmap, however imperfect, for what might be possible. Liberia's rebuilding journey began under the auspices of the United Nations missions in Liberia, supported by key regional actors. Despite having a GDP of just $295 million in 1998, the year before its second civil war erupted, the country has received over $6 billion in combined aid, loans, and debt relief since peace was restored in 2003. That aid was instrumental in rebuilding basic infrastructure and restarting the national economy. Syria, by comparison, presents a reconstruction challenge of staggering proportions. The Carnage Endowment estimates that rebuilding the war-torn country could cost upwards of $400 billion, a figure dwarfing both Liberia's aid and even the inflation-adjusted cost of post-WW2 Marshall Plan. For reference, Syria's GDP stood at $60 billion in 2010, just before war broke out. While the scale differs, the underlying principle holds. With sufficient international political will and financial coordination, reconstruction is achievable. The global economy now offers more capacity than ever. The world's nominal GDP exceeds $100 trillion compared to just $2.3 trillion in 1960. Relative to today's global wealth, the Marshall Plan's $150 billion adjusted value represents a much smaller burden than it once did. In this context, funding Syria's recovery, while politically difficult, is economically feasible. Key regional actors could play a decisive role. The Gulf Cooperation Council states together boasts a GDP of over $2.1 trillion. Turkey adds another $1.1 trillion. Collectively, these neighbors match the economic heft of the United Kingdom. If strategic rivalries can be tempered in this service of long-term regional stability, a coalition of regional and global donors could drive Syria's reconstruction. The Syrian future is not foreordained. The road to peace in Syria is long, fraught, and uncertain, but it is not unprecedented. Liberia's experience demonstrates that with international commitment, grassroots mobilization, and political imagination, countries shattered by civil war can find their way back to stability. Syria's reconstruction will demand more than money. It will require trust, accountability, and a willingness to imagine new political compromises. The burden lies foremost with Syrians themselves, yet the international community has a vital role to play. If the world chooses to act not merely out of interest but out of responsibility, then from the ruins of Aleppo and Homs, a new Syria, just pluralistic and sovereign, may yet rise.